Good morning, ladies and gents. Salam tanay stiling. Chu. Everybody listening to rockin' with us, man. We just want to take this time to say good morning. Salam tanay stiling. Hope everybody's doing well. Beautiful day we're having here in the capital. I hope you guys are up and awake and getting your day started with your favorite show right here next to you, infotaining you guys. And in case you're just joining us for the first time, this is the most powerful show. The name is Dawit Batsa, and this is Inshaga Time. And we are here every Monday and Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. We start the week, we end the week with you guys. And as we are morning people, we believe that, starting your day early and strong is very, very, very important. Once heard that our attitude towards our life is the same attitude life has about us. Ever since I've heard that, it really makes me consider how I start my day. Because your attitude is really, really crucial, and it's one of the things we talked about as well. Your attitude about life really is is towards your life is the same attitude life has towards you. So if you are all about good vibes, if you are ready to challenge yourself, if you are looking at your struggles and your challenges from a different kind of perspective, you're more likely going to be able to actually be able to withstand all of the things that are coming your way. So just the way we are contemplating as to what we're going to wear and what we're going to eat, we need to embrace the right attitude towards our day in life. So it's a Friday morning. I want you guys to start your day with an amazing spirit, and I want you guys to rock with us. 104.7 is the radio station, and Shega is the platform as well. So if you are finding us on social media, we'd like to pass on our deepest gratitude for you for giving us your attention, because that is the most we were talking about this as well. That's the greatest gift you could possibly give to anybody is your attention. And we are so grateful for the fact that you have given us, your seconds, your time to actually watch and hear the content of our show. And we are here to keep you guys company and entertain you guys to our best capability. And we look forward, for you guys to join us in our conversation today as we go deep into Tukus Course. That is our segment here where we talk about so many different interesting topics that will add value to our life. Straight from the oven, we're going to be talking about so many different interesting topics that we have brought up. All right, one of them being the super underrated skill. What is the super underrated skill? And the other one is gratitude towards our challenges. Yes, these are the two things I'm going to dive in amongst other things. So don't go nowhere. Make sure you join us on our Tukus Course and have a great morning with us, because we do believe that the way you start your day is very important. And make sure you reach out to us on 0988418888. All right, I repeat, 09 88 let us know what your thoughts are, and let us know, engage with us and participate. And if you have any song requests, birthday shout out, it is Friday as well. And we also have a holiday coming up tomorrow as well to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. And we just like to say happy early holidays as well, and wish you guys an amazing Maulid. We're going to talk about that in a bit later as well. Good morning. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a beautiful morning here in the capital. And today we wanted to have an amazing Tukus Course topic. All right. And of course, on this segment, we always talk about things that we feel like could possibly add value and make our days, our mornings, our job, our relationship, our physical body, our mental health better. And for our Tukus Course today, we wanted to talk about the most underrated skill. The most underrated skill, but a skill most of us already possess. You know what I mean? This is one of the things I do want to stress as well. It's not like I'm going to tell you guys about a skill that you're going to have to end up learning from scratch. But today I wanted to talk about writing. And this skill, the skill of writing, the ability to actually be able to actually write down your thoughts and your ideas and create a word and create a sentence and a paragraph and then a whole essay as it goes. That actually is one of those skills that we wanted to talk about today. All right, why it is important and why we need to start practicing writing down things for better, I guess, career, relationships, and to actually better handle our thoughts and to build the ability of critical thinking. All right, an essay is is a relatively short piece of writing on a particular topic. All right, so when we say writing, of course, people write so many different things. You could write a personal note, a to-do task, or some kind of a simple proposal, or the list goes on. Depending on the career that you're in, you could be a student and you might have to write a certain project or certain thesis, a certain report for your teacher, or you might have to end up writing something for your boss, or you're trying to write down some to-do list for your own self as well. All right, but generally though, just the whole idea of what we're talking about today is writing a piece of information, anything, an essay on a particular topic. However, the word as well, like the word, even when we think about writing as well, most of us actually go into like this concept of like how we're trying to prove ourselves to our teacher, to whomever is that giving us a certain assignment, that our understanding of that concept. All right, but even the whole idea within the word essay also means attempt or try. An essay is therefore a short piece of written by someone attempting to explore a topic or answer a question. And that's one of the main things that I wanted to focus on as well, because a whole lot of us have so many different kind of questions that arise from the problems that we have. It could be at school, it could be in our relationship, it could be in our business, it could be in any of the things that we're trying to do. It could be on the things that we're trying to learn as well. So these are the things that we're trying to answer by writing. So why bother writing? This is one of the questions that a whole lot of us ask, because we can read and we can process so many different thoughts, and we're able to actually communicate verbally as well and say so many different words at a single time. But most of the time, students write essay only because they are required to do so by like classroom instructors, or people are just required to write by their bosses. And then, of course, most of the time, students come to believe that essays are important primarily to demonstrate the knowledge to a teacher or a professor. And I'm that person as well, to be honest with you. For the longest time as well, like I've assumed writing that way as well, even though I know how to write and have been writing for a while as well. That hasn't been fully encrypted into my system as well, because I guess somehow the necessity of writing to solve my own problems wasn't deeply encrypted, wasn't in there. You know what I mean? I didn't quite grasp that intellect quite yet. So this is simply and very dangerous as well, and very wrong. So the primary reason to write an essay is so that the writer can formulate and organize an informed, coherent, and sophisticated set of ideas about something that is important to you. All right, that is the main reason of writing. I repeat, the primary reason to write an essay or anything, pretty much an essay as well, just trying to resolve answer a specific question, is that so that the writer can formulate and organize an informed, coherent, and sophisticated set of ideas about something that is quite important and something that you want to resolve. So why is it important to bother with developing sophisticated ideas? Is that it's because there is no difference between doing so and thinking, for starters. Because it is important to think, because actions based on thinking is likely to be far less painful and more productive than actions based on ignorance. So if you want to have a life characterized by competence, productivity, could be security, originality, or engaging, rather than that just being just out of rubbish and just being nasty, short, you need to think carefully about important issues that are going to have an important impact in your life. So there is no better way to do so than to actually sit down and write. And this is because writing extends your memory, facilitates editing, clarifies your thinking, and that's one of the most crucial things. We have so many different thoughts so jumbled up everywhere. By the time you sit down and you try to write, you are trying to actually clarify your thoughts and organize those thoughts in a way that actually makes sense, so that you can actually answer the questions that you have in mind, the problems that are bothering you. Could have a solution if you are able to actually organize your thoughts and write them down. So you can write down more than you can easily remember. so that your capacity to consider a number of ideas at the same time is so broadened. And furthermore, once those ideas are written down, you can move them around and change them word by word, and then that word could be changed sentence to by sentence and paragraph to paragraph. You can also like reject ideas that appear like substandard. Like if when you're writing it down and after you consider them more carefully, you are, if you reject a substandard idea, then all that you will have left will be some kind of good ideas, but you can keep those as well and be able to tweak it in a way that makes more sense to you from your experience and from the things you have read, from the things you have understood. So consider your success over the course of a lifetime, and here is something that you have to think about. The person who can formulate and communicate the best argument almost always wins. And if you want a job and you have to make a case for yourself, if you want some kind of raise, and you have to convince someone that you deserve it, and if you are trying to convince someone of the validity of your idea, you have to debate its merits successfully. You've got to be able to make a point, particularly if there are others with other competing ideas that are going for the same kind of position that you're going into as well. So you've got to be able to articulate, you've got to be able to come up with ideas that are clearly stated on a piece of paper so that you can make that argument. So if you sharpen your capacity to think and to communicate as a consequence of writing, like, you are better armed than you could possibly imagine. And they say this is like a cliche thing, but ideas change the world, particularly when they are written. And they say that the pen is mightier than the sword. And this is something that I once heard, and it's actually such a powerful thing. The pen is mightier than the sword, and this is not like some kind of cliche idea to change the world, but this is something that is so true, and it's something for us to consider as well. Like, the Romans built buildings, and the Romans and the buildings are both gone, and then they said that the Jews wrote a book and they are still here, and so is the book. So it turns out that words may well last longer than stone, and this is something that you got to keep in mind. So if you learn to write and if you learn to edit, you'll also be able to tell the difference between a good idea intelligently presented, and you could also differentiate like a bad idea put forth in a very unskilled thinker. So that means that you will be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. Like, you could differentiate what is actually has a good content, something that somebody could work with, so somebody has a good background, a good understanding of a certain topic. Then you can be properly influenced by profound and solid ideas instead of falling prey to foolish ideas and ideologies, which can range in their danger from trivial to mortal. This is something you've got to be able to watch out, and you'll be able to differentiate the good and the bad. The more you're able to write, the more you're understanding things, you can differentiate these things. So those who can think and communicate are simply more powerful than those who cannot. And I've seen that so everywhere. Look at all the powerful people in the world right now. People that have a whole lot of influence. People that are even artists. Every list goes on. They all are able to sit down and write and full on write down their ideas and arrange them in a way that fully represents what they have in their mind and come up with a solution for their problems. And if you go into this diplomats, if you go into talk about this politicians, lawyers, even in the med world, this goes on. All right. So this is a very important skill. So if you learn to write and to edit, you'll also be able to tell the difference of all this. You'll be able to have all the skills. And those who can think and communicate are simply going to be very, very, very powerful. And this is something that you would want to, this is a skill that you would want to develop and use, a skill that you would want to have under your arms. And at the very top of most complex hierarchy, and this is one of the things that I have observed, at the very top of the most complex hierarchy, it could be law, medicine, academia, business, theology. Nothing is more necessary and valuable. If you can think and communicate, you can also defend yourself, your friends, and family. When that becomes necessary as well, it will become necessary at various points of your life. So this is a skill that we all need to have. Finally, it is one of the things that I want to talk about. It's useful to know that your mind is organized verbally, at the highest and the most abstract level. And this is something I'm sure all of us experience. Is like our mind is organized verbally at the highest and most abstract level. Thus, if you learn to think through writing, then you will develop the well-organized, efficient mind, and one that is well-founded and certain. And this also means that you will be healthier mentally, physically, as lack of clarity and ignorance means unnecessary stress. And I have dealt with that as well. Like, I used to deal with unnecessary stress and anxiety, and I'm understanding how to use the ability, the skill of writing to help me deal with the stress and anxiety that I find myself in. And it's also like a learning progress for me as well. Like, as I'm writing about this and talking about this, I had to do a whole bunch of research about it as well. I had to also practice so much writing and other ways to be able to best express my ideas and my thoughts. And as you go about school, as I said earlier as well, like, you be given a certain question and you write a full-on essay about it. And I guess that most of us have used it for education purposes and only for our career. But when it comes to our personal life and our business, and especially when we create a business as well, it's the most important thing. And when I started a business, writing the business proposal, having surveys, these are the things that are very important. Not because you don't know. Of course, the point of a proposal is not because you don't know what you want to do. It's just about clearly stating it so that you can see the idea, clarity, with a clear eye view. Like, you could be able to see what you need, when you need it, the procedures, the goals, the plans, the requirement, everything. When you write that proposal, it becomes so clear to you. So the same thing, if you're having an issue in your relationship, if you're having issues into like your health, if somebody asks you, how can you be in the best fit, or how could you be in the perfect mental state? And this is a question that you're trying to answer. And if you have to write an essay about it based on your thoughts and your experience, you're going to start to actually write down so many different ideas that you have collected all your life based on, it could be school, it could be environment, it could be media, things you consume on YouTube. So everywhere, and the things you have read, you write down all the ideas as to how to be mentally right, or how to be in the perfect body, the basic concepts. And then you rearrange those thoughts into words, and those words into a sentence, and those sentences into a paragraph. And then before you know it, you're coming out with a solution to something that is bothering you, and a solution that could actually help you become a better person. So really, it does help you handle your stresses. So unnecessary stress really also makes your body react more to what could otherwise be treated as travel affairs. So this makes our excess energy expenditure, so more rapid aging and more, I guess, other health hazards as well will happen if you are not handling your stress well. So unless you want to stay in that kind of, I guess, mental state, if you want to stay ignorant and healthy and lightweight, you gotta learn how to write. You gotta be able to think and communicate, because you also see that as well on social media. Now we are writing more than ever because we are available on so many different platforms. You write so many different things, your ideas. So even writing a constructive idea based on your observation of it as well will go a very, very, very long way to be able to communicate, and that will solve a whole lot of our problem as well. Like, I wonder if most people that actually go into so many different deep arguments and so forth and debates and whatsoever, if they could clearly communicate and resolve their issues before it becomes such a big disaster. So this is one of the skills that I feel like it will help us thoroughly communicate our ideas and say it across, and without really sounding so ignorant, without really not understanding what we're talking about. The more you write about it, the more, because writing also goes hand in hand with reading, because for you to write, you got to be able to read and understand the problem in hand so that you could write an amazing essay about it. So don't ever underestimate the power of words, the power of writing. Without them, we will still be living in trees, literally. So when you are writing an essay, when you are harnessing the full might of culture of your life, this is why you write an essay, and this is why it's so important for us to build on that skill of writing. And that, ladies and gents, I would want you guys to practice. It could be 20 minute, it could be 15 minute, but just practice somewhere. And there's a tremendous amount of content online as well as to how to get started. Now they're also coming up with so many different apps as well that could help you write, that could help you properly, write down your ideas on a computer, on a piece of paper, whatsoever, and then you start to organize those words into things that could actually be that could help you better express yourself and communicate better. So this is a skill that I want you guys to really work on, including myself as well. This is something that you will always learn as you go about this, and you perfect your writing as the more you practice it. So go ahead and do that. You let me know your thoughts and your opinion on our social media. If you are, I don't know how you're watching this or how you're hearing this, but it could be on the radio live on 104.7 or on our social media platform, which is Inshegger, INSHEGER. Go ahead, leave a comment, your thoughts, let us know, hit us up, DM us. We'll be more than happy to hear from you guys. Good morning. Welcome back. You're listening to the 104.7. Salam Tanay Staling. Happy Friday. Yes, the end of the week, TGIF. Happy Friday to everybody listening to Rock with us early on this beautiful morning we're having here in the capital. In case you just joined us, this is in Shaggar. We're going to be talking about everything that's happening here in Shaggar, and we're so happy that you have decided to join us and give us your attention. And we're very honored. We're very we are grateful for the time that you're giving us, because we always say make sure you pay attention to your attention. That should be a good that's a good slogan right there. Pay attention to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, because wherever your attention goes, your action goes, your thought goes, and wherever your thought goes, your action goes. You know what I mean? So if you want to change the things that are happening around you, just make sure you pay attention to your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a radio at its finest. Big shout out to everybody listening to Rock with us. And on to our Tukus course. And of course, earlier I did say that we're going to be talking about gratitude. And most of the times on Fridays as well, we focus on that as well. So go ahead and let us know. What are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? Go ahead and let us know on 0988418888. Or if you are seeing this on any of the social media platforms, go ahead and comment or DM us. What are you grateful for? But for today, we want to talk about on ways of finding gratitude in our challenges. For many of us, it is easy to find gratitude for the good things in our life. We are happy for all the blessings, but not so much for the messes. And of course, it is very like a human thing. After all, our brain is designed literally to go after all the things that makes us happy, all the things that gives us dopamine, and what we think will bring us pleasure. We always fantasize about that. We want that. But what about the other stuff? The other stuff we normally don't talk about. What about the struggles, the challenges, and even the sadness and anger-filled moments that you may have experienced? Just because our brain says, give me more of what makes me feel good, because that's what it's constantly saying, does that mean there isn't wisdom in finding gratitude in what is perceived to challenges? Because look at the people around you as well. People might have complained to you about a challenge they might be going through. Maybe it could be like not being fired from a job, and then they end up having an amazing job, or it could be somebody might actually be dealing with a very bad toxic relationship, and that might be the challenge they might be going through. But then they might be grateful for that challenge because they might have found themselves in a very beautiful relationship now. They might have dropped out from college, but they might have found a job. This list goes on. People always complain about the things they're going through, but then when things change and then become way better than they used to be, whatever challenge that they had, somehow it becomes a blessing, and that's something that we most of the time tend to forget when we are going through a challenge. And I sure as hell find myself in that position. When I'm going through a challenge, I'm more likely going to think about the hardship that comes with it, but not really processing that the fact that the more that I'm going through this, the stronger that I'm becoming and a better person that I'm becoming as well. So it is such an interesting idea to consider, especially since cultural messaging reinforces what our biology is designed to do, move towards the good and away from the bad. That is actually a basic human instinct. The catch is, however, though, it is that this argues in the brain, and nobody comes from the most primitive part of us and not the most advanced part of our evolution as well. So as humans, we have the ability to transcend our sensory experience to see something larger than what we're going through, because that's what makes us human, to see something on a much more bigger scale than what it actually is. So we have the ability to see the order in our chaos. That's what makes us humans. If we choose to develop this capacity within ourselves, I don't think there's anything that can stop you. So what are the challenges that you're going through? Are you going through because having some hard time at school, or your boss is just somebody you cannot stand, or are you in a relationship? What are the challenges that you're going through? And I want us to actually change the narrative and be grateful for the challenges that we are currently having, because those challenges are changing you, like whether you like it or not. As you are experiencing these challenges in your life, you are constantly changing yourself to adapt and become a better person so that you can withstand those challenges. And then by the end, when you have fully understood what the problem is, or you have went through the challenge and the hardship, and you find yourself in a better position because you find yourself stronger, wiser, smarter. So these are the things that we wanted to talk about. So today I want to ask you guys, to people that are listening to us live on the radio and watching us on all these different platforms, or listening to the podcast, what are the challenges that you are grateful for? Go ahead and let us know. And that's one of the things we wanted to talk about as well. Why exactly should you consider finding gratitude in not only the joy, but the things that annoy you as well? So the biggest reason is because your growth and evolution requires it. And this is something that I've been stressing upon. You can transcend anything that you are grateful for. Literally, you could transcend if something is bothering you, and the more that single second that you change your perspective about it, and you start to somehow find a way to be grateful for it, you become above it. Like whatever it is, it will have less power over you, and you can transcend anything you are not grateful for. That is basically how it goes. So not finding gratitude in the challenge actually keeps you stuck in that same position. So it can keep you resolving and repeating the same challenges over and over again, and it keeps you in the primitive parts of your brain, and it prevents you from accessing the most advanced part of your being. So when we find the courage to look at the wisdom and blessings in our challenges, you'll be surprised how stronger you grow. This situation offers a mirror upon which you can reflect and change and grow. So how do we design to cultivate attitude of gratitude for the challenging of in our lives? This is also a very good question. You know what I mean? And this is something that as I go through my own life, I work under assumption that whether it's showing up in my life is showing up to help me, and whatever it is, like it just happens for a reason. Whatever is just decided to show up in any of the spectrums and any of the things that I'm doing, and if I feel like it's going to this is happening because it's here to help me. It's here to help me understand things better, to educate me, to make me stronger, to make better decisions. It's here to make me more patient in life. It's here to teach me something. And this mindset, I'm able to stay more curious and regulated in all of the things that are happening. Let's just say something bad happens or something challenging happens to you, which you did not anticipate when you start your day, which is highly likely as well, because as much as that we're trying to remain in control of our day, there's so many things, there's so many elements that are completely out of our reach and we cannot control. So you're going to come across things that are going to challenge you. So your perception of it is going to be, first is go, okay, cool, I'm going to have to deal with this, because one, there's a saying that says that there's a comment on that is such a powerful thing that I truly believe that it holds true most of the time. You know what I mean? Most people go through so many different challenges and they seem to actually be able to figure it out, and they seem to be able to manage that situation they're in and come out strong than ever. And I've seen that so many occasions. So as I go through this is something that I want us to actually practice as well. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts about this as well. And I'm not trying to be in any way like super optimistic and saying that yes, everything is all butterflies and we all should be grateful. But this stuff like this, it requires to be more intentional, because it is not into your human character for you to be grateful for the challenges that you have. Like, it is, you have got to stop, to literally step out of your shoes and really analyze it and come up with a different kind of perspective to actually be grateful for the things that you are going through. So what I'm saying, I know it sounds so hard to, it's easier said than done. I know a whole lot of you guys, I know everybody is going through something. We all have different kind of challenges, and the idea that we have been taught as if life is all this blossom of butterflies and everything goes smooth, I think that we all are understanding that that's the furthest thing from reality, and we all have different things that we're dealing with. So if we have all these different elements in our life that are becoming a hardship, I think that changing your perspective about it and seeing it from a different light will help you become better than your problems, and it will help you reach to a certain level where the thing that is holding you back or challenging you will not hold you back anymore. So I want you guys to practice this, and if you can, please go ahead and share your story with me. I would love to learn. I would love to understand the challenges that you're going through and how you are changing your perspective and becoming grateful for it, because at the end of this journey, you truly believe that you're going to become stronger. And whenever that you're going to need an inspiration when it comes to that, I want you guys to think of a moment. I want you guys to think of a moment where you felt like it was the end of the world for you, or you felt so heartbroken, or you felt so broke, you felt so lost in life, and then you figured out a way, and whatever sad thing, whatever challenging thing that had happened to you was one of the biggest blessing in your life. And then you realize, oh my God, what that thing that I went through, if I hadn't gone through the things that that phase, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in. And to be honest with you guys, I've had a whole lot of those experiences. I've experienced so many different losses in my life, heartbreaks. I went through so many different challenging things in business and so many different things that was quite challenging, but I've come out of them better and stronger and wiser as well. So I'm quite grateful for the challenges that have happened to me, and now I'm looking at the challenges, all my own challenges, in a different way. Of course, my human instinct comes in sometimes, and I get so angry and it takes over me, and I use those challenges to give me excuses, because we all love to give excuses at the end of the day. And it's so easy to come up with excuses and stay lazy and not do things, and then blame the things that are holding us back in our challenges. It's so easy. I mean, some people could actually decide to do that, but if you are one of those people, you don't want to give excuses no more. You want to take responsibility, and you want to come up with solutions for the problems that you do have. Then you got to understand that all the things that are happening for you because they're adding value to you. I know you might not see it now, but it will come to a point you're going to be so grateful for it. And that is one of the things we want to talk about: showing gratitude to our challenges, being grateful for the things that are in a way giving us a bit of hardship, because as hard as they're making, as complicated they're making our life, they're also making us better. And that's something to think about. And go ahead and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this? Do you think that we should not look at our challenges from this perspective? If you do, please, I would love to hear from you. And that's the whole point, for us to rotate ideas. And since you have blessed us and you have given us the gift of your attention, we would like to also ask you guys in a way for you to share your thoughts and your opinion about the certain topics, or however that you are watching or hearing us. It could be on the radio or on social media. Make sure you leave a comment. If you want to directly reach out to me, it's 0988-418888. Or you can find us on social media with INSHEGERN Shagad. We're talking about all the things that could possibly add value, and we're going to be talking about more of this and much more on our show. So every Monday and Friday from 7 to 9, make sure you rock with us. We're going to end the show with some nice records, and I will see you guys on Monday with another episode, with another segment of our show. With that being said, you know how we end the show? Good, better, best, never let it rest. Like, till your good is better and your better is best. There's always room for improvement. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. As a human, you're constantly seeking any kind of betterment. So I want you guys to always focus on the fact that you can and you're able to actually withstand all the issues that you have and come out create. And that's one of the things we talked about earlier on our Tukus course, the ability to write. So write down the things that are bothering you, the challenges, and really come up with a solution for it and start looking at them from a different kind of perspective. And before you know it, it might be hard. I'm not saying that it's going to be a smooth journey, but all I'm saying is that it will definitely help you become a better person. And you're not doing it for nobody. Really, all the things we're talking about, it is just there. We're talking about it to help yourself. And in this world as well, I always say that, investing on yourself, working on yourself is the only way you could climb up on any of the hierarchies that you consider yourself to be a part of. If you want to go up in the hierarchy of your work, your education, to your relationship, whatever it is, make sure you work on yourself. Man, I could go for hours and hours and hours, but I had an incredible time, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday with another episode, with another segment.